have just returned from Vancouver, fresh off planes, trains, automobiles. I went to one of the final shows of the Eras tour.
Amazing.
If you know me, if I think everyone who knows me does know this, I love Taylor Swift.
Yeah. It's
I
like you don't even really have to know you, just being in the same room with you for 10 minutes, you'll know this girl loves Taylor.
And you know what? I'm not a new Swiftie. I am an OG,
Mm.
OG, like 2006 Tim McGraw trying to download it on like LimeWire. Like I'm
Ooh.
aging myself, but like that is how far back I go and like searching like what is this song? Who is this artist? I've been to basically all the tours. I was actually counting with Jason last night. He's like, "How many times have you seen her live?" I think the answer is eight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Anyways,
And wait, can
I
we real quick you said something on your Instagram that I was like, holy shit. You've had two babies in the span of time she's been on this one tour. And I remember you planning your first trip to the Eras tour and like, how am I going to pump? You had just given birth. It was like your first night out with your sister after you gave birth to Kaya. And here you are hopping on planes, trains, and automobiles.
So I was actually going to say that in the
Oh,
time that Taylor's been on this tour, yes, I've given birth to two children.
it's wild.
That just goes to show, A, how long and massive this tour has been. I mean, it's broken so many records and I think it's boosted the economy by like $10 billion, all this stuff. Anyways, yes, I love Taylor. I went to the first Eras tour before she was doing like mashup surprise songs, before we even had the Tortured Poets Department, which is my sweatshirt that I have on right now. And I felt like, you know what? I want to see the Tortured Poets Department. I want to take Jason to see Taylor because he's so sick of hearing me talk about how epic her shows are. And he was like, I want to go. And I want to say this. How do I say this? I covered Taylor religiously when I worked at Entertainment Tonight. Like it was literally my job whenever she released an album to be the first one at Target and to go through all, her notes and decode everything and send it company wide. Like that is literally what I did. And so I do have a relationship with her team. And I want to say this, her team is the best team in the industry. When I tell you like the level of organization and kindness and thoughtfulness, it just spans like what you would even think they would be capable of in also managing like the biggest pop star in the world. When we landed in Vancouver, I mean, I had a message from her team being like, "Do you need parking for the show?" Me, I'm a plebeian, like little old me. Like, do
That's
you need
incredible.
parking? Like, right?
Yeah.
And, we didn't know where we were gonna sit. Like, we didn't really know. We just knew, we had these tickets and we were basically the ninth row on the floor.
I mean, your footage you were posting, I was like, you probably felt her breath.
I, it was,
Insane.
it was insane. And like to be that close up to this show and like obviously I've been following the tour and I like to see all the different surprise songs and the outfit combinations and what is she gonna wear for the Fearless era. Like it's just part of what's made this tour so special. And so yeah, to be there for the final second to last night was so epic, so exciting. This is something that happened to me. So when we were in line, we were in the merch line because Jason and I, every concert that we go to, we like to get a poster and we like hang
Mhm.
them around our house. And I was like, we have to get a Taylor poster. And I really wanted the navy blue crew neck, but then I don't know, they were sold out. Anyways, we were in line and Gracie Abrams was performing. And I looked at Jason and I saw like all these little girls, singing along. And I started crying
Oh.
because I was like, the next time Taylor goes on tour, I will get to bring our daughters. And it's going to
Oh.
be like such a shared experience of like love for an artist and for songs that you get to share with like the little people that you created. And then to see them having their own memories after you've had so many memories and been so like moved and touched by this person's songs throughout, you know, your life. And I think that that speaks to the artist that Taylor is, that so many different generations can feel something by listening to her music. And like her music has gotten me through like past breakups and like falling in love with Jason. And, certain songs, I think he knows I always think about Jason when I hear that song. And so just, getting to know that your kids, I think when I look at Taylor's career, like she still has so many more albums in her. Like they're going to get to experience that through the same artist that I did. Like, can you think of another artist that's done that?
No.
Like,
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Well,
So
and it's
it's
special because I
wild.
remember when you were pregnant with Kaya, you were playing her Taylor Swift in your belly.
Yes. And now every time that she hears Enchanted, she like starts dancing and twirling. It's the sweetest thing on the planet. She loves Shake It Off and she knows how to like shake, 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 which is so sweet. And yeah, I just feel like I've grown up with Taylor. I will say leaving two babies behind for even 48, like we were gone for less than 72 hours. Like that is how tired we were. Like we got home from the show at like 1 a.m. and then we were up at 4 a.m. to catch a bus to go like through the border and like get to the airport. It's a whole thing. But leaving the girls like with our grandparents was a whole other level of stress. And so for all the parents who have had a chance to go on like a little mini vacation without kids, I think everyone can relate. It is so hard. Not because our parents don't do a good job. They did an excellent job. They just do things differently. And I was getting notifications on like my Nanit all weekend, like Emma's crying. And so like 1 in the morning, I'm like looking and I'm like, why did they put Emma in her crib that way? That's not the way that she goes. And why isn't she swaddled? And I'm like calling my mom, hey, there's a loose blanket in the crib and she's not swaddled and my baby's gonna die. And my
It's
mom's like, Steve, you can't do that. And he's like, why? She's fine. She's fine. This is what we used to do. And it's just different.
yeah.
And it's true. We all survived. And I'm sure the level of helicopter parent that I am is insane. I left them like 2 pages of notes per child. And I
Mhm.
was like, did you not read the notes? And they were like, Katie, you left us like novels. When do you think we had time to read those
Right.
notes? Like, it's going to be fine. I'm like, no, it's not going to be fine. I did this for you. And so you
Mhm.
guys would get sleep and understand their schedules. And they're like, they're fine. Kaya's never even had McDonald's. What did they do the first night? They got her a Happy Meal. It's fine. I love that for her. I'm glad she had some McDonald's French fries. But they were like, she didn't really eat it. I'm like, because I told you she likes macaroni and cheese and buttered noodles.
Yeah. She's on a strict noodle diet.
My baby likes noodles and she
Mhm.
likes these little mini pizzas and she likes broccoli. Anyways, they survived. Coming home was wild because Kaya was so, I think, overwhelmed with emotion. She like almost started crying and then like wouldn't
Oh,
let me put her down. So that was something new to experience as a mom. And yeah, it's hard to leave your kids
yeah.
for a myriad of reasons, but it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity to go and see Taylor close out this tour, and we couldn't say no. And you know what? We deserve to fill our cups sometimes too, is the
Ain't
moral
that
of
the
the
truth?
story.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's funny you should say that because I'm currently pouring from a very empty cup.
So I know that life right now for you is, I think
Oh,
hard is an understatement. So I want to hear what's
yes.
going on with you and your
Well,
family.
I want to start by saying it was a pleasure to watch you and live vicariously through your Instagram. I was loving every moment because I know how much she means to you, how much you love her, and what kind of the parallels of this tour and your baby making journey has been. And so I thought it was just so great. And in the midst of my dumpster fire, it felt really, it brought me joy seeing you so happy. So this is motherhood, right? It ebbs
This
and
is
flows.
motherhood. Well, I was gonna say like the highs are so high and the lows are so low, and
Oh my
especially in the
God.
seasons that we are in. I mean,
Hmm.
last week there was a moment where I was literally in my closet with the door closed, sobbing, and then I was living out my dreams in Vancouver, dancing my butt off at the greatest concert of all time. And that's just life. And one more thing I want to say is like when I think about the top 10 moments in my life. My wedding is the first one.
Hmm.
And then it's the birth of my children. And I only put the birth of my children after because it hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been first. And then, I have like Italy with Jason and like these other amazing moments, with my family. Outside of my family, the top moment of my life is like literally seeing Taylor on tour.
Oh.
And the Reputation tour and then the Eras tour, I just, there's something magical about it. So I'll wrap up with that. But